welcome back to Class Culture. It is a word of worship. And I just got home from a fantabulous, let's just call it a staycay. And it was my birthday weekend and it was fantastic. Let me take this opportunity to say thank you, everyone. Even a comment on YouTube, on Facebook mattered because everything in real life mattered. Trust me. Feel and hear the happiness in my soul. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I just took a big gulp of water. I got the 4 looking at me because those are the 4 bottles a day. Yay. And I encourage you to do the same thing, if not more. And we are going to start this week off right. You know why, hearts ago? I said to myself, uh-uh. I could have gotten away with, oh, it's my birthday weekend. I took the week off. We'll start next week. And I said, no, no. Me and Mariah Carey said, no, no. Click live, Deirdre, then go to bed. You know my work schedule and you know my sleeping schedule. And it's so funny. It's like we got osmosis going on around here. Everybody up at night. I love it. But be careful, girls and boys. You're going to get them bags under your eyes. No, these are my work hours. I'm not up just because I'm up. It's my work. It's my life. It's always been like this. I think people are trying to compete with us, hearts of gold, and let them. I've given them enough time. I've given them 6 months to catch up with Gigi Darling. And we're going to do a word of worship to kick off the next millennia, okay, with class culture because break time is over, okay? Other than my children's birthday coming up and my daughter's graduation in real time and moving and fantasticness, if that's a word, gonna happen. We back on track. I'm telling you, back on track. I'm about to schedule five art smarts. I already gave y'all the intros, right? I think I did. The little commercials. I'll be featuring those in this week coming up. So, shout out to our members. Thank you so much. Please, I'm still working on my 100 member drive. Once I get to my 100 members, any level, please and thank you. However, if you're production, you must be at the stellar level to see my production videos. Those are for professionals. So, yes, and thank you. I won't bring it up as much, but guess what? That we don't have that far to go. So thank you. Thank you. Please consider becoming a member today. I'm a member on a lot of folks' channels. I'm going to ask them if I can use their channel as far as me announcing being a member there, and maybe they can shout me out as well because we are all about networking over here in class culture. Class culture, my heart's of gold. You know what we give. What do we give? 100. I mean, I'm not going to change. I love my motto. I love it because no matter what I'm doing, um, it's about me. Okay, it's not about anybody else. It's not about anyone else's uh, interpretation. It's not about anyone else's desires. It's about me. It's my channel. And a lot of people are very uncomfortable being honest about that. And I'm not. I'm just at a stage in life, um, diplomats, where we feel like we don't owe anybody nothing. And this channel is not about owing anybody. This channel is not about, let's just say, stepping aside. No, 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 no. We have done so much on my channel in 2 years. I can't even. I hush my mouth, and I'm just going to keep going and going and going. They're trying to catch up to us, and guess what? They can try because I don't see a lot of channels out there doing more than one thing. That's the gag. So, what are we going to talk about today? Shout out to the future and beyond. Thank you so much. And if you are in the present, my family, they're hanging in there in Poland and in Ukraine. I should say Ukraine first because Poland is where they're pouring in over there because I had heard on the streets over there over the phones and things that they're not going to the other countries because they feel like if no one stops, you know who, I don't even want to say his name, he's going to go over to those other countries that were a part of Russia. And they're not. They're independent, sovereign states, countries, and it's horrible. So yeah, they're hanging in. My advice, what am I telling them? To leave. Whether they listen to me or not, I don't know. They enjoyed my heritage video. They said, please do more of that. So I told them, I said, well, I'm not going to start till July. So they're like, please do more. I'm like, okay. So I got to do like a something to follow that up because they really enjoyed that. Maybe I'll do, I don't know what I'm going to do, but they were like, that just made us, they have nothing, you guys. They're living in tents and they huddle around and look at cell phones. Or if they're lucky enough to be adopted, of whole families adopted into other people's families and houses. Think about it. Think about your house and your dwelling right now. Would you accommodate 6 or 7 people? Would you? I hope the answer is yes. Because I know my family, the answer would always be yes. And it's so bittersweet because in real time, shout out to the future and beyond, we're about to plan a momentous. And when we do things in my family, we do them big. Our weddings are off the chain, graduations, birthday parties, anniversaries, uh, vacays. We just got it like that. I'm just saying we're blessed, but we're celebrating something so important. But on the other hand, they're going through hell. And over, wow, 12 years ago, we were all together celebrating and on a yacht at my wedding. So yeah, it's just really tough. And the kids are feeling the way because my daughter, he walked her down the aisle. Things like that. But her dad's going to be there. Her obviously biological dad's going to be at her graduation, and we just have to keep them in our prayers and hope for the best. I want the United States to defeat him. There's going to be casualties. It's war. It's war. People crack me up when they talk about, like this word of worship is going to be about holy and sacred places. But when you read any type of religion, there's always conflict. It's always born out of conflict. Jesus was murdered, for goodness sake. So we're human beings. I say we're the most dangerous animal on planet Earth. That's me. But and you always have the person next to you can murder you. You don't know who these people. They can lie. The people will wait for you to go to work, smile in your face, and break in your house. That type of thing. So I don't trust nobody. I don't know. So again, going back to would you let those people in your house? I probably doubt it. Here we are, half of our family is over there and half of our family is over here. What can we do but tell them, go to safety? Are they going to listen? I doubt it because they want to fight back. And I'm the same way. You probably couldn't get me to leave either. You would have to kidnap me, make me, put me in a trunk, sedate me, hustle me, smuggle me out or something because I would want to fight for my rights to say where my country is. So I get it. But on the other hand, I'm like, get out of there. Come over here. We can celebrate. In a month, we're all going to be together celebrating a graduation and all packing U-Hauls and doing all of that goodness stuff. But they can't even focus on that. So I told him, I said, just watch my words of worship. I'm not going to do any of the DNA stuff until July, but they said they loved it because now I can talk about, you know, all my cultures and all. They love that part where I show. And shout out to the future and beyond. Just go to my playlist where I'm talking about my DNA. That's where you'll find my latest 2022 DNA results. And they were like, see, we knew you were just family, you know, doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be talking about that till July. They were like, we don't know if we're going to be alive in July. I'm like, don't make jokes like that. They're like, no, we're serious. So I don't know. I'm going to have to come up with something. Maybe I'll just do uploads on each country. Okay, where's my little pieces of paper? Shout out to all my hearts of gold. And, you know, I got those little pieces of paper. Are they here? Yeah, I do. And maybe I told myself, oh my God, now you guys put me on the spot because I got so much on my plate. And they were like, you can do it. Just 30 minutes, please. And I'm like, oh, because they're interested to see what I'm going to do next and how I'm going to piece it together. And of course, Polish Bob, he's just ripping and roaring for me to do my first big project and all that other stuff because he wants to see me succeed because it's my time. And that's why he helped finance my film, you know, degree. And I said, it's going to happen. But the 2 years kicked us all out of the box because of why the pandemic. So I'm going to do my best. I'm back to work. I'm focused. I'm back to work. Play is over. Holidays are over. Holies are basically celebratory. Holies are over. Easter tide is here. I go inward. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have to worry about decorating anything or all that other stuff. The other holidays coming up, those are easy. One and done. You know, 4th of July, celebrate it, over. You know, Juneteenth, celebrate it, over. But, you know, holiday seasons like Thanksgiving is the whole month, and December is the whole month, and Valentine and St. Patrick's Day, things like that. You know, those are like parades and things. But now I'm ready to focus on my channel and all my endeavors, and they gave me nothing but good wishes and said, you can do it, now go. Okay, I can't rest on my laurels. So up until this point, hearts ago, thank you for watching all my videos. We're about to hit in real time 500,000 views. So guess what? This time next year, I know I'm claiming it, 1 million. I know this time next year I'll have 2,000 plus videos. And I know this time next year I'll have 4,000 subscribers. That's who I am. I just put it out there. And then I do the work. I went to 2 locations today amongst all the partying and having fun. And happy spring. It is springtime. So I'm ready. I'm ready. And they were basically just saying, we can't believe you did all that in 2 years. And they know me. Ooh, I'm squirrel. And when I get bored with something, I'll put it away and you won't see that crazy quilt until a year from now because I don't put timelines on things like that. Those things I put in my trunks and my boxes and my holiday bins for when I am all the way retired. You know, I have to be very careful. I only have like 4 hours a day to myself every day. You sleep, you work, you wash, you eat. Let's just say hour and a half to do important things regarding your abode. And then you have just 4 hours to watch something you like, make a YouTube video, art and craft, and create. So, I mean, that's nothing. I feel like the president up in here. Okay. I was like, I don't have hours and hours to waste. So I'm back at it. And I know people are trying to, let's just say, mimic or recreate what I got. Nope, you can't because you're not me. You're not on the in. Okay. And I say, if you want to start a YouTube channel, make it about yourself. Don't make it about anybody else. Choose when you want to talk about somebody else, but always back to square one, yourself. Okay. So that's why I said I'm going to use this last hour, talk to you, my hearts of gold. A word of worship is every day, even though I schedule it every Sunday. I'm like, nope, I'm going to hit it. And instead of wait another 7 days, I'm not going to do that. So I'll see you again every Sunday definitely for the rest of this year for a word of worship. In the summer, get ready. We're going to go on some locations and have some fun with that. And sorry, I'm reaching for something because I see it wants to fall. What is it with waters? You know how they come in the big 24 pack and the bottom, it doesn't sit up right. And the one I got open here, it just wants to fall over. So I'm going to put it right next to me because I ain't got no time. And I did a whole fun tea party on my birthday on Zoom, and I was with my girls. And I had a cute, the devil stay mad, don't he? I had all my cute little, delicacies for my tea and crumpets and stuff. And one of the macaroons fell. I had a fan right under my legs, fell right on top of the fan. Bloop. And I'm like, "Ooh, the devil stay mad." I'm like, "That's for you, devil. He wanted some. He wanted some." So I know I feel motivated this morning to come on and do this because I feel it's nothing but evil happening over there. And on your, let's say, on your heart, when you have people on your heart and it just feels like you can't hurt no more or you can't do anything, you can. You can read the Bible, you can read a passage. And I really didn't want to talk about a thing or the words. I wanted to talk about places. And and next week I'm going to do the same thing. No spoil alerts, but yeah, wherever we are, with whatever's in our heart, that's where it is. And you seek out like churches and holy places and sacred places and things like that. Please, places that are important. I'm thinking about doing a walking tour book for San Francisco because I'm always meeting people in San Francisco tomorrow. Did you go here? Did you go there? Because I told you guys that when I was a little girl back in 1872, I wanted to be an architect. But then that first drafting class, I said, "No, ma'am. I'll just become a lover of architecture." So I have all these heroes and sheroes that were architects, and the city and state of California is full of landmarks. And I'm like, I gotta do that. I have to do it. And I'm often always talking to someone. They're like, "Oh, I never knew that about a building." They're like, I'm like touching it, like, "You didn't know that this about this building." Historical landmarks are everything for me. Everything. So one of my friends was like, "No, you need to write a walking tour book." She said, "I bet you'll get published just like that." I'm like, "Really?" She was like, "Are you kidding me?" She said, "I just sat here for 20 minutes listening to you talking about something I never knew, and I've been in the city all my life." I'm like, "That's kind of scary." She was like, "Go for it. Just don't think of it. Go." So I'm going to consider it. I said, what if, can the first one just be like 10 places? Because I don't need nothing else on my plate. Are you kidding me? She says, "No, no, just whenever. Like the day you retire, you publish." I said, "Oh, thank you." Because I don't have time to do that right now. But what I can do here, Hearts of Gold, is perfect it. You know, I'm saying like a word of worship. I can pick 10 places of worship and go talk to them and ask their permission. All of them have said yes. None of them say no. I say, "I'm a YouTuber. This is my name. Here is I always have a piece of paper with my name, address, if they want my photo ID, that type of thing. I give them the channel name. Yes, the whole channel name. I tell them this is the playlist and this is what I'm doing." They say, "Oh, yeah, just take the pictures." I'm like, "Oh, I can take pictures." I said, "But I want to bring my laptop, do an hour show with this in the background, the facade or whatever. But I'm not going to do that thing where, oh, it's public property. I'm over here." No, I want their permission. And they're like, "Yeah, we don't care. We're a church. What are we supposed to say?" No, they're a nonprofit. I'm like, "Oh, cool." So that is what I'm going to do, to pick up their spirit. So not next week. And I asked somebody, I said, do you think that's appropriate during Eastertide? They said, well, let's get back to you on that one. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's appropriate during Eastertide. Sorry. Y'all know I'm squirrel. Something just came across my computer and I have to take a note. All right. Sorry. Give me a second. Yes, I am a working woman. We are an international enterprise. And I got to write that down because if I forget, that won't be good. Do you have favorite places of worship? Is it your church? Is it in a book? Is it in a movie? Is it in your imagination? Is it something you heard about in the verse? Did you read about it in the Bible? Do they talk about it on the History Channel, on the Discovery Channel? Uh, uh, I like to watch Ancient Aliens, not because of that part necessarily, is because of all the research he does. It blows my mind. I'm like, how does he find time to do that? Well, they have a whole team. But honestly, I can accomplish the same thing as well. I'm not trying to do it on that production level. But yeah, I love places that have meaning. Also, I included 1 Peter 1:16 because when we talk about it, and these are the subjects we're going to talk about today: holy, sacred places in the Bible, holy places in the Bible, holy temples that still exist. And this is a place in Turkey. I always screw the name up. Okay, it will get through it. It's gonna be okay. It's pronounced Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe. Okay. And then we only have 3 Webbies. So thank goodness. Links. Okay. And then next week, I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. And then I'm going to do Eastertide. And then we're going to switch over to locations. Okay. So hang in. It's pretty exciting because I'm coming up to my year point of doing a word of worship in this manner. We are coming out of the pandemic. So I feel comfortable going out and being about. I even asked them, take the sweater off. I even asked them, is it appropriate to film? Like if I go to, I don't know, a Greek Orthodox ceremony or wedding, would it be appropriate to sit in the back as a filmmaker? And they said, sure, as long as they don't care. I'm like, okay. So yeah, that'll be coming soon. Okay. Hydrate. Just little tidbits. And I uploaded my first short in real time. I was at the beach. That's basically my walk. When I go walk every other day, I'm very lucky, very blessed. But I'm sure if you live somewhere near water, go find it, go do it. It's better. It's just better for your soul. Okay, so let's get into the topics. So, you know how we rock and roll. Thank you very much for being here. Please subscribe if this is your first time. And welcome back to a word of worship. I'm happy. I am. Because I need balance. Okay? I need balance. And if I don't have balance, that's when you start seeing illness. Okay? That's when you start feeling your worst. That's when you start feeling depressed and sad. That's when you start doing things that are bad. And I can't bring that home enough for some people because they often ask me questions about me or how do I do this, or you are very focused. You're in the moment. And I've been saying that lately. I always live that way. And I'll ask people, you don't live that way? They said no. And then other people don't live that way because what am I doing? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Because they're not even thinking about what you're saying to them. It's just the word holy. Okay.
Holy.
They're trying to react to something. They're trying to hide something. They're trying to defeat something. They're trying to skirt something. They're trying to ignore something. They're trying to push something away. It's like, can we be in the moment before you even decide how you're going to react? But some people don't do that. And to me, that's what causes conflict. Because I think everybody can come to a point of agreement, a middle ground. Even nature has middle ground, doesn't it? Something's going to not happen and something's going to happen. And you have to focus on what's going to happen. That's what I do. I don't focus on what's not going to happen. I don't understand that. So the word holy, dedicated or consecrated to God or a religious purpose, sacred. So holy and sacred kind of go hand in hand. And I wanted to get to this first before I go on to places. Because for you, a church is an extension of maybe Jerusalem or whatever religion you worship. And that's why you feel whole, because you got to do it once a week, or you got to pass it, or you got to visit it. A lot of like Catholic churches, their doors are always open. I do it. And when I just want to walk in, want to get something off of me, get the devil off me, the demons spoke to me, and I've got to go sit in there for 20 minutes because I know it's an extension of the sacred or the holy place over there. Can't nobody get on no plane and go to Jerusalem. Some people never do the pilgrimage. I've been to the Vatican, my mother and I. So some people, they don't have that ability to go over certain places. My mother went to Jerusalem. I haven't been yet. I say yet. One day. So and shout out to our internationals. The links are always down below. I use Google. I put the word holy in. There's the pronunciation. Shout out to everyone learning English. I'm speaking to a very nice person on Facebook, and they're just so happy with me. They're like, I love your channel. I don't even listen to that other stuff. I go to your videos where you teach me and you show me, and they like that I give them these links, you guys, because then with this, they can go in, put it in, or the links I give them, they can hunt and peck around. You'll be surprised. A lot of people they don't have the benefits we have in the United States. So just be nice. Don't think that everyone has it the way we have it. So that's what you're going to get, okay, when you look up holy. Now, let's look up the word sacred. You'll be surprised. This is super important because a lot of people don't know the meanings of words, or they can't repeat the meaning of the word, or they don't know the definition of the word. They have an idea, but they don't know. They couldn't recite the definition to save their life. And that's the part I love about my channel. Okay, I erased it. Sorry. It's okay to not know or to figure it out together or to know the correct definition. See, that's another thing. People have, I think it means, no, it's no think.
Sacred.
Sacred is connected with God or dedicated to a religious purpose and so deserving veneration. Okay, here we go. I know my mom was a teacher.
Veneration
is great respect. Okay. I have zero. People tell me that. I have zero interest in being a teacher. No, ma'am. That would be like putting me in a jail cell. No. And again, it has to do with holy, hallowed, blessed. I am blessed. Spiritual. Because when people hear holy and sacred, they think God. Well, you can be spiritual and have sacred and holy places. And again, like I said, depending on what religion you choose, because we're Americans, you can choose any religion. Jesus and Christianity is not the only religion. Okay. And you can feel like you're connected. So once a week, I personally need a holy or a sacred place. And if I can't make it, I make one at home. Some people have altars. Some people go to temple, as they call it in the Jewish faith. You got to have something. You got to have something, or you're not whole. And I can see people that are unbalanced. Can you know, like your lungs, breathe in, breathe out. It's the same over and over. If you can't change it. The lungs are in one place. There's nowhere else. I can't use your lungs to breathe air for me either. There's one place. So you had to find your one place in spirituality and worship or a destination. It's you. I always ask people, well, where do you go? Well, what do you mean, where do I go? It can be in your bedroom, clicking YouTube, and you have a favorite pastor or someone who speaks positivity. Sorry, I can't do negative. Politics is not religion. And I won't do negative. And I won't do judgment. No, I just want spirituality and I want to feel positive and whole. I listened to like some positive jazz today. Yes. Because, you know, lots of music is sexualized and what you can do for me and what I can do for you and what I got and what you don't got. And that's not positivity. No, ma'am. I know when you say it like that, y'all, everything would be knocked out the box. So I have to really go and look. I love instrumentals and I love soundtracks, you know, because it's sort of kind of curated like my playlists. And yes, my birthday playlist is coming at the end. I'm going to do all the birthday playlists at the end of the month because I don't want anybody to feel left out. And I'm not going by horoscope, I'm going by month. So miss me. Every end of the month, I'm going to drop my playlist so you can have fun. And I played it and it was just for me. And that starts at the end of this month. But anyway, going back to a word of worship, it's also holy places you go, whatever you deem is holy or sacred to you. But it has to make it make sense. Don't say, well, I just be in my basement. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Once a month, please and thank you. Walk in a church. If you claim to be Christian or something, even if you say, oh, I don't do any of that, I'm just spiritual. Where you go to the beach, hug a tree. You can't just sit in your house thinking that's enough. It's not enough. Not when you have, let's just go back to Christianity because we're in Eastertide. It mattered. The Vatican is a whole, I don't know if they consider it a country, but it's its whole entity. Oh, that's a good question. Let me write it. Is Vatican a country? Vatican a country? It might say yes. It's the smallest country in the world. Exactly. It's encircled. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at that. It's a trip. Vatican City is the smallest country in the world, encircled by a 2-mile border with Italy. Vatican City is an independent city-state that covers just over 100 acres. It's teeny tiny, y'all. And the reason why I brought the Vatican up is because we're going to talk about Peter, because you know he was, well, I always go to the gore. Okay, he was he was killed, and he asked to be crucified upside down because he felt he wasn't worthy to be right side up because of Christ. Because when Christ died, he gave the key to the religion to St. Peter. Ergo, he was the first pope. That's why St. Peter exists in Vatican City. Okay? Because Peter got the heck out of there, Jerusalem and Israel, because they were killing all of his apostles after Jesus died, and he ended up in Rome. Okay, so there's a little history. If you didn't know your history, I don't know how, but there you go. And we've been here. So if we were like, okay, if we're gonna go somewhere together, where we're gonna go, it was Vatican City. So it was very cool. And it's Vatican. And here you can do the rest of your research. I'll put this down below in the description. Here we go. I put it after sacred. So for us, that was a sacred place. Because he was, and they still have his bones, y'all. Because he was Christ, and then it was Peter, and then all the popes are out of Peter. So that is a direct connection to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, if that's what you so believe. Okay. So that's a holy place I've been to. And what's next for me? I just worship in places. Now, I'm not a member of a church. No, ma'am, no, sir. Been there, done that. I choose to do what I choose to do because I can, right? So just wanted to give you that little feedback. That's the answer the question. Well, because someone might say, well, Deirdre, have you been to a holy place? Yes. Okay. There you go. And St. Peter is so-called built on the mound where he was St. Is it? Okay, I keep asking myself questions. Stop it. Where he died. So that's why it's a thing. Okay. And it doesn't feel holy or sacred when you're there unless there's a service going on. Otherwise, it's a big, huge tourist trap. But I get it. It's cool. But it is a beautiful place. So if you have a chance, when will I ever go to Jerusalem? I don't know. My mom went, but I have no idea. I can't even answer. I don't, it's not on the to-do list. It's just whenever because I'm not Jewish and I don't feel the need, but one day probably. But who knows when? I don't know. But that was good enough for me. I don't know. So much conflict in the world. It's like, when do you go and not feel the the need to make out a final will and testament just in case you don't come back. I don't want that either. I'm not trying to put that in the universe. I'm just saying that's kind of scary. Okay. So what's the next thing we want to talk about? What's the next thing? I'm sure it'll get better. So we did holy, we did sacred, we did is the Vatican a country, sacred places in the Bible. So if you wanted to decide to go somewhere based on the Bible, where would you go? Just start asking yourself these questions. I have a place I want to go next that isn't necessarily biblical or religious. And we're going to talk about that today because the Bible is what? Let's just keep it cute and say, I know people say 2000. I'll just say 2100 years of history. Well, what was before that? There were other religions and spiritualities and groups and things like that. So that's where I'm gonna go later in this show. So here, when you put in sacred places in the Bible, they say they're 5. And I'm like, is that all? Well, when I hear sacred place, there's so many places listed in the Bible, it's not even funny. But when I hear sacred place, I want to know the story. Why? Where? How? What happened? Is there a treasure there? Is there an artifact? I turn into Indiana Jones. Should we dig in this part of the desert until we find gold? It's like it becomes a curiosity to me versus going there just to be a tourist. I hate that. Me and my mom left when we were in the Vatican, we left the tour guide and we were like, what time are you going to be? What time is lunch and what time are you here? And they were like, okay, we just kind of wandered, did our own thing because you got to get on the bus to get to the places, right? But then you don't necessarily want to walk around a group of people looking like a bunch of dorks. We just wanted to roam on our own, pun intended, because we had already read about this stuff. And my mom is a school teacher. She didn't have time to be standing there and listening to somebody talk to her. So we were ripping and running and doing our own thing. So much so that she was so tired she almost slept like half the day. And then that's when I went to the island of Capri, okay, on my own, because she was like, I don't need to see another island, but that was good. And then I went to go see Pompeii and all of that. But she was pointing stuff out that the tour guide didn't know. It was quite embarrassing because she's just intelligent, brilliant. And I knew what it was myself because I was like, oh, this is this. Oh, there's the Pieta. We walked in, there's the Pieta. And then every piece of art I was looking at, I said, oh, that's mosaic. And they're like, oh, how do you know so much about it? I'm like, we're in our 30s. Didn't you read? At the time when I was serving overseas and we were doing all that traveling. I'm like, well, they didn't read this. My mom's like, they and she's like, you know. So yeah, I can't believe how ignorant people can be. It's just so sad. Now, this was prior to cell phones and interwebs and internets in the fancy sense. So I can understand why a lot of people just don't read. They don't even go to their libraries. It's quite sad. But here they talk about Zion, the land of Israel, Jerusalem, temples, tabernacles, sanctuaries, sacred sites, high places, the micro scales of cultic installations, such as the ark, altars, sacred poles, sacred pillars, biblical points of view, realms of sacred and profane coexistence. Profound, profane. Okay. But then they talk about it's so much, y'all. Modern day Israel. So you can kind of choose where you want to go. I'm not going to half the places. I'm just saying because it's conflict. And you always should go with somebody. You really should, or on a tour. You don't roam the streets by yourself, please. It's not safe. So holy sites of Christianity. Okay, so it goes on and on. So when you're doing your research, you can find a lot. Now, when other examples of sacred places have nothing to do with Christianity, there are sacred places here in the States, in India, in Australia, with Aboriginal people on different continents. So don't be a snob and think that it's all about Christianity. It is not. Okay. So, where is the most sacred place on earth? They say the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. That's what they feel, and that's what they put here. Other people would feel differently, and that's okay. It doesn't make me feel a way or not. What is the most sacred thing on earth? And here they're talking about physical. Yay. Water, trees, you know what I mean? Mountains. So I'm like, yay, I like that as well. Okay, so it's up to you. It's up to you. It really is. So what's the next thing that I want to look up? All right. Holy places okay, that was sacred places. Now let's look up holy places. I have to move this because I'm hunting and pecking. Did I lose y'all? No, I'm here. I'm hunting and pecking. I gotta put that at the end. So here we go. Give me a second. Holy places. Did I mix those up? Let me see. It's the alphabetical for me. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave it there, but it should have came first. Don't ask me why. Okay. All right. So holy places in the Bible. Now I did this so you can see when you put it in the Google, other things come up. Okay, tabernacle, temples, Islam, okay, scripture, verse, Christianity, okay? People think differently. It doesn't matter how you throw it in there, we're going to come up with the same thing, okay? So here they talk about the Jordan River, Galilee, Syria, and Lebanon is big, but I'm telling you, it's just shoot, they're still fighting. It's still going on. It's just too much. It's too much. Sorry, getting another message. Here we go. There we go. Then the places that are connected to Christ Jesus, like they say, Jerusalem is the three big Christianities: Islam, Christianity, and Jewish. So they all claim it, unfortunately, to peril. War, disagreement. That's why I said earlier today, doesn't matter if you can walk in a room and say, okay, we're here to agree. You get a point of view, and it has to be equal. Don't you hate when people overtalk you? Oh, I hate it. That's war. You're basically declaring war on my mind, my thoughts, my spirituality, my purpose, my existence. I don't want to be there. They can't meet you. They don't even want to listen. And that's why people say, I like the way how you are in the moment. I'm like, that's the only way to live. These people are living half lives. If you can't keep it 100, that don't have nothing to do with Christianity. I tell you that. It's a lot of demons going around pretending like they Christians and they're not. And you're going to get some kind of sort of the same things here. And my connection and my love and my obsession with Queen Sheba. There are lots of holies, and Solomon's temple was one of the holies. Where they had the 10 Commandments, and it's all gone now. They claim they don't know where it is, the 10 Commandments, but I doubt that. I doubt it. And then what are Christian holy places? You're going to sort of kind of get it the same thing over and over again. For the Jews, it's the Western Wall. For Muslims, it's a mosque. Christianity, it's a lot going on. It depends on what your focus is. Okay. So I don't want to go too deep and be too, let's just say, particular. Okay. So it's the next thing. You decide. So holy temples that still exist. I thought that was fascinating. Because if we're trying to plan a trip, or if we want to go somewhere, where we're going, we just can't wander around. No, you have to build an itinerary, right? And then go from there. So this is amazing to me because this is in Turkey, and this has to do with, I just did my DNA, and we always knew that we had relatives of mixed heritage and all that other stuff. But there's this place. So when I go to Turkey, I want to go to this. It's the world oldest temple in Europe. Now we know Mother Africa is the beginning, but let's just focus, right? And that's not the definition. That's where we're going to talk. We're not going to talk about that right now. Trust me, I'll bring that at the end, but I punched in holy temples, right? That still exist. Okay, sorry. I'm doing two things at once. Okay. Then when you put that in, or when I put it in, when I Google, I'm always curious to know if you Google it, if you get the same thing. But anyway, holy places of Christianity, pagan temples, holy places in India. You might not want to go to Israel. You might want to go to India. So look that up and be curious. Holy places of Islam. Okay. And then here, I think we're going to look that up. No, are we? Oh, no. Okay. I might. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to look that up. But this is the place in Turkey we're going to look up. Okay. What is again, what they just said, the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. So when you go, there you go. All right. There you go. All right. Let me stop sharing this because I want to see why I didn't click that. Y'all know I have an amazing firewall on my phone and my computer. So, oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'll do this one since I only have 3 websites. Yeah, I got to get rid of it. I was doing too many websites. Oh, I was doing too many websites because I was looking at some of the shows. I was like, okay, now I'm getting out of hand. All right. So I'm going to leave that one for this. Let's do that one first. There we go. Edit and paste. A lot of people don't like to do hard work, do they? I'm learning that as well. So we did holy places in the Bible, holy temples that still exist. Now, let's go to the hard word place. It's not really hard. You just don't say it that often. And it's not in their dialect. They sound better saying that. They sound better saying it in their tongue than me saying it. Why am I seeing something at holy places? Oh, I did leave that out. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, here we go. It was a long day, like I said. I just said, you know what? I'm not going to wait. I'm going to put this here. I just didn't add it. Seemed a little thin when I was looking it up. And then we'll do the verse last. There we go. What are you looking at? Holy places before Christianity. Yep, that's what you're looking at. Sorry, I'm cleaning this up. And then we're going to go to the place in Turkey where I want to visit last. Because it doesn't have to be religious base, or it doesn't have to be Christianity base. How about that? All right. So holy places before Christianity. And then you get all kind of other good stuff. And again, we have to remember Christ was Jewish. He wasn't Christian. Okay. So it's going to confuse some people. I don't know why, but it does. They just can't put 2 and 2 together. But it's going to be related to the Old Testament, the Torah. Okay. I just wanted to bring that up because people get very agitated of the Jewish faith and they go, you're making me mad because he was Jewish. I'm like, well, don't get mad because it was through him and through Peter and all the popes why Christianity thrives to this day. So you can't dismiss that. But we also can't go backwards and dismiss this fact. Okay. Judea was a region inhabited mainly by Jews. So that's why you're going to get all of that good stuff. I had to do it. I had to do it. And here is interesting. Which religion? Now, sorry, we love over here in class culture Africa. So, we're not going to get what we need here. I need to focus. But make sure. Let's just go with it. All right. Which religion came first in the world? Hinduism is the world's oldest, I would say, organized religion, according to many scholars, and roots and customs dating back to more than 4,000 years. Okay? But I get that. I would say, organized Western. How about that? Organized Western. I know they're over there. I'm just saying mentally, right? So I thought that was interesting. Okay. All right. So what do I want to look up next? Christianity. I'm going to look up the verse 1 Peter 1:16, and I put the word meaning in there because it wasn't giving me nothing. And then we'll do the Göbekli Tepe. I say TP, it's Tepe. Göbekli Tepe. Okay. I had to keep saying it all day today. Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe. That's the place in Turkey I would like to visit. I don't even know if they're going to grant me an entrance to it. I don't know if it's like a museum. I don't know. And I'll show it to you before we get there. So, what does 1 Peter say? Because now we've spoken about what a holy is, what a sacred place is, what it says in the Bible, where on earth these places are. We didn't go into the whys because that's more research, but you are our participant here. Enjoy yourself because I know I have, and I will, and I do. But then you can decide, do I want to visit there based on current political warring situations? I don't know. That could be dangerous or whatever. Put it on your bucket list, whatever. But now we give it a purpose. The why. Why do I want to go to these places? Right? So in 1 Peter, remember Peter, the first pope, his friend that got persecuted and, you know, same death Christ did on a cross, but upside down, you know, because he said, nope, I'm not Jesus. Isn't that something? It just boggles my mind. But anyway, Peter, the apostle of Jesus, writes a letter to Christians facing persecution to comfort them with the truth of who they are in Christ, children of God. Okay? What is the meaning and what is the message of 1 Peter? 1 Peter is a powerful letter. So it's a letter he actually wrote. So when you feel persecuted, what do? You should seek out a dwelling. This is me talking to you, not him. Seek something out. Take the time, take a moment. Demand it. It don't even have to be Sunday. It could be Thursday afternoon. And say, I'm going straight to a place of worship. And you see how it's quiet right now? That's what I need. And then I go inside. You can't touch my soul. You can't see my soul. My heart is in my chest beating properly because it's a biological machine. It cannot be exposed. Okay? So when I go within, to me, in my mind, that's the same. It's the same. It's a correlation. I have to go inside a dwelling. Just like my soul and my thoughts are inside my physical, biological body, I have to go inside a dwelling. And in the future, I'm going to go on a plane, on a train, on a bus or a car to these places and find these dwellings as well. And that was the purpose of me and my mom going to Rome and the Vatican inside St. Peter. Because that's as close as we got to who? Jesus Christ. You didn't have to be Catholic. You didn't have to be Baptist. We were part of the story, the connection. Right? So that was good enough for it. My mom was like, yeah, I'm full. That's good enough. I've been to Israel and I've been there. I'm good. And that's all you need. And then what did she do? Every month or once a month or once a week, she would visit her local place of worship. Or she traveled a lot and friends often invited her to go to their places. Okay. So that's what we're talking about today. So Peter offers hope to persecuted people. You don't even have to be Christian to walk into a church tomorrow and sit on those hardwood baby, I bring cushions with me. Ooh, I'm like, oh, how can y'all do it? I got a little meat, but man, them wooden benches, I can't do it. I get the looks too. You know how you get those cushions and you go to the bleachers and watch the kids play games or watch your friends son play football in the cold in November. You know, I got them cushions, boo boo. And you can even get the cushions for your knees when you do gardening. It's less obvious, But I'm not ashamed. I put it right under my bum and I sit there. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But anyway, back to this. And get what you need. Get get what you need. Write down a verse I gave you here in Word of Worship and read it in the dwelling, wherever it is. And most of them have books and Bibles and hymn books and things like that. But it is a pandemic. You get your own. Go to the store, but you can go to the dollar store and buy a Bible. Okay. Read anything in as long as it's appropriate. You can go and read a book about sewing. Just be there. Trust me, you feel better. It's a direct connection. You must. You must. That's all I'm saying. You must. So, yeah, just remember Peter, when we look at the verse in a moment, Peter was writing a letter to the persecuted people who took up the beliefs of Christ before he died to give them hope because they didn't have anywhere to go. Okay? That's the beauty. That's the purpose. Sort of like the ball, the beach ball of where. That's the purpose of this channel. You have to have somewhere to go. So that's why I kind of just look at people. I'm taken aback sometimes when I ask a simple question. Well, where do you go? Well, I don't go nowhere. I don't like churches and preachers be having sex with everybody. I mean, it's like control yourself. Hold on. You go back to the lungs and the oxygen. There's only a certain amount of capacity. They expand and it goes back. Expand, go back. Let's just keep it in them four walls. I'm just trying to have a conversation. Where do you go? Just answer the question. Because a lot of times, you know what, hearts that go, they don't go nowhere. They're wanting. They're sad. They're lost. They even covet what you have. Your conviction, your focus, my moment. I'm having a moment. I often have people just try to block my moment. It's like, if they could snatch the air that belong in my lungs, they would, okay? Because they don't know how to get along. I told you I'm doing two things at once, y'all. I'm literally screwing on a lens on a camera to show somebody who just asked me a question online. I'll take a picture of it in a minute because they're driving me nuts. Okay, here we go. So, a word of worship in holy places. You go. You like how I did that? You go find one. You go. Okay. So now let's look at the Webbies because that's enough. One place I am gonna go when I go, because I was like, okay, if I'm going all the way to Turkey, it's got to be for one really, really good reason because that's a long ways away. There's no conflict over there right now, but I'm gonna be careful. Trust me. I'm gonna do it. But as you can see on the history channels, Ancient Aliens, I'm telling y'all, that's the show. I just think it's a bull with the horns, but it can be an alien. Okay, let's just stay focused. But yeah, that fascinates me, the carvings. Now, that's a lot. It can be a lot of things. But when I went to Pompeii, oh my, I didn't want to leave. I'm like, it's only 3 hours. I got to come back. I've never been back yet, but I got to go back to that place because it was fascinating. Fascinating. But yeah, these are the carvings that they found, and I want to see them with my own eyeballs. Göbekli Tepe. This is a temple that they found. Isn't that something? There's pillars, there's altars, there's carving, there's art, there's stonework. There's it's a holy. It's a holy within a holy of a holy. There is the megalithic, temple with the megalith right there. I mean, we're looking at it. Look at the carving. And they had a different world, a different environment, probably animals that are extinct 4,000 years from ago, and we men, unfortunately, erase environments and chop down trees and burn down forests. So animals kind of we've gotten rid of all the animals in America basically. They all live in the mountains and stuff. But yeah, there it is. And I'm like, okay, I can go there. I can go there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take a picture of that right now. Okay. Yeah. So that's where I want to go in Turkey. Okay. It's sort of like what the pyramids are to Egypt. It's a Neolithic archaeological site near the city of that in southeastern Turkey, dated to pre pottery. And it was discovered the year before I was born in 1963. Isn't that interesting? But it was abandoned before Christ. Okay. And I think it's interesting because the political shifts and power struggles and wars and things. What if Nero, was it Nero that killed St. Peter? If my history is correct. Okay, let me look. I think it was Nero. Let's see. I mean, if Peter was allowed to live and preach, then maybe it wouldn't have been a deal, Christianity, right? It would have just been the Jewish religion, maybe. Would have been more prominent. But yeah, Peter was crucified in Rome under Nero. Yeah, that's what I thought. He was the first, they call him bishop or pope, also the first bishop of Antioch. Okay. Yeah. He killed him because he was scared that he would take over the minds and the hearts of the people. But those were primitive times. People didn't read, they didn't write, they were visual, they were tribal, they lived off the land. You know what I mean? It was not modern at all. Okay. But yeah, this place I gotta go. I got to go. So that's on the bucket list, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that right there. Right there. Okay. And we'll do more research on that later. Yeah, my in-laws go once a year. I'm like, once a year, but they're retired. I can't do that right now. I will, I'll get there, but not right now. I can't do it right now. So let's look at one, two, three, four websites. And then we're done. I enjoy this. See, it was less Bible-y, right? And more what's going to happen next. Now let's go straight to the meaning, what's in the verse and why, this Deirdre, why was she drawn to the verse? Well, I think I've done a great job explaining it, and I'm just making sure I'm putting this in the right order. Okay. All right. Give me a second. And I also have friends that say, I like these more because it's more you. It's not the other person. I'm like, that is me. They're like, I know, but you're never mad at us, so we don't like that person. I'm like, okay, but it is me. They're like, well, remind us never to make you mad. Not that they think I'm wrong or anything. They just say I don't need that. So thank y'all. So here, when you put this in, I'm going to go to the top after this. So let's read the actual verbiage of that particular verse. For it is written, be holy because I am holy. That's just a direct connection for me. That's the why. If you want to, it really kind of doesn't really have anything to do with right or wrong, morality, or let's just say, what's the correct word without sounding too judgy? Uh, obedient. It's be as they were. Okay? If you want to be, quoted fingers in the air, as holy, then just do as they did. Quoted fingers in the air. Now, I'm going to read 13 through 16, but I only listed 16 so we can give context to it. Because remember, he was writing to these poor people. If you wanted to write one letter to and Xerox 500 to everybody in San Quentin, I don't know if that's the amount of people over there, what would you say to pick up their spirit? Okay. So here he said, therefore, with minds that are alert and fully sober, that matters. I do not like talking to people that are high. I do not like talking to people that are drunk. I do not like talking to people that are on drugs. I do not like talking to people that are on prescribed drugs. And I do not like talking to people on gummies or smoking weed in a pipe. You're not completely sober and alert. I don't even like talking to people who are tired. Yeah, I'm tired, but we're going to have this conversation. No, we're not. Go get some sleep. I need you to meet me where I see you and you see me. I'm fully alert and sober. You'll be surprised the difference in having a certain conversation. I'm going to check in on you first. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Well, then get back to me because you're not ready to have this conversation. Or have you ever met somebody and they want to have a conversation? And, well, I'm mad. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Because I know you're not listening. So you're not going to waste I am on planet Earth during a pandemic. I had to change it up because I don't want to curse. And you think I'm going to I am precious and I am alive and I matter. My existence is everything. It is a miracle. It is magic. I am not going to waste time on anybody who ain't fully there. I'm not doing it. I want to be in a room with one person for the rest of my life talking about the Bible if that's how we're going to get down. And I'll be okay with that. And I'm healthy because people always ask me, you guys, I just turned 58. How'd you do it? You look younger than my 37-year-old daughter and all this other stuff. I'm like, well, I grab mines. I gets mine. I grabs mine. I own it. I'm focused. I'm fierce. I'm full. I'm blessed. I'm not messing around. I'm fabulous. Okay. And I can focus and I'm in the moment. And I love stuff like I could talk about this all day long without the Bible-y, without the politics, without the hate and the judgy. And that's when people go, you should be a teacher. No, ma'am. Are you kidding me? People, that's worse than the prisons. At least they got prison guards in the schools. Okay, let me focus. Let's read. Therefore, with minds that are alert and fully sober, I'm going to have to take a P test to talk to Gigi. Yes, you are. To get in my house. Okay. Set your hope on the grace to be brought to you when Jesus Christ is revealed at his coming as obedient children. Do not conform to the evil desires. And it's usually what's pushing you. Challenge yourself. That's the message. Say no to yourself. I had so much fun because we started off last weekend where I said I want to make it a movie birthday because we're coming out of the pandemic. I haven't been to the movie. The couple of times I went, I was scared, y'all. It was like Godzilla, and somebody came to my aisle, I got up and left or moved somewhere else. It's like, nope, that's too close. But I feel comfortable now. We cleaned the whole seats off and everything. I should put it on my IG. I'm like, yeah, I'm still not comfortable, but I'm here. And it was great. We saw last week in real time Spider-Man. And this week, yesterday we saw Batman. And Now we're like, okay, everybody disperse because we're not trying to catch nothing. Because we gotta group up, come together for the graduation. Okay. So yeah, we're still trying to we're still a little scared. We're like, do we hug? Do we fist bump? Do we elbow bump? What do we do? Some people just grabbing me. I'm like, okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm vaccinated and everything, but yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm not trying to get sick. Okay. So churches are starting to open up again. So now I'm starting to feel comfortable again. So what were the evil desires to do things that had nothing to do with holies and holidays and deliverance and positivity, and we did all that. Now it's time for a positive change. It really is. So do not conform to them. And this is what I tell my family and friends, and I'm going to keep this for somebody. I told her, put your mind at ease. You can get in there and get dirty, but it is not your lifestyle. You don't have to conform to it. You don't have to bow down to it. You don't have to ingest it every day, all day. You don't have to go along to get along. You don't have to follow the crowd. If y'all over there, I'm out. Mm-mm. It festers like cancer. And then you're wondering why you're sad, you're mad, you're angry, your back hurt, your head hurt. You don't feel right. Everybody make you mad. I heard somebody say the other day, I hate humans. I was like, wow. Now might not get along with everybody, but I don't hate humans. That would mean I would hate my children are human beings. I gave birth to human beings. Are you okay? That's going a little too far. Tell me you hate this person because they did that. Okay, I'll listen to the conversation. But to conform to evil desires, no. That's what you're doing when you feel all that mean and anger and ish and I'm trying to be careful and vinegar in your blood. It's salt, tea. Okay. Control it. You have the ability to do at least once a week. Go seek out a word of worship in a place of worship. You have the ability to change that. Okay. So do not conform to evil desires you had when you lived in ignorance. Now, if you are a heart of gold, if you just heard me say something, if this is class culture that you love and the Gigi Darling that you have come to know, then you cannot claim ignorance anymore because now you know better. And then in the 16th verse, it says, but just as he who called you is holy, just as God is holy, so be holy in you do. Okay? So just copy. It's easy. And this is the kicker. It's already written. Just be holy because he is holy. And people were way less fortunate than we are way back then. So think about the people that he was talking to. It's so much easier for me to go walk in a church right now. They were being prosecuted for just saying they were Christian. They had to go underground. They had churches in the undergrounds carved out with their hands because their soul desired that spiritual connection. It's like food. So I don't get people when I ask them, where do you go? And they don't have an answer. I'm like, these people carved out holes in the ground in Ethiopia. There's temples in the ground. What are you talking about? You don't go nowhere. Who are you? Who are you? And I'll tell you guys why I keep singing that in a couple months because I'm driving somebody crazy singing that, but it's a whole joke. Okay, so what's the next one? cntraveler.com. All right, so I don't want this to be too long. cntraveler.com. Oh, Condé Nast. I'm like, CN. All right, here we go. All right, so this is fun because now, you put your Indiana Jones hat on. Oh, I love those rugs. And you figure out where you want to go. If you don't want to go to Turkey with Gigi Darling, you can go to some of these places. 19 sacred sites around the world, from ancient churches to hilltop temples, or around the corner in your hometown. Do not be an idiot. I hate when people say, I found Christ in jail. Don't be that idiot. So here they're going to share with you different places. India, like I said, it doesn't have to be Christianity. So get over it. Thailand. So I'm glad I made this video because this will always exist and I can always choose someplace new if I run out of places. I've been to Stonehenge. Oop. No, I don't want to get, go away. See how they make it as tiny as possible? Get out of here. Ooh, these ads. Okay, there we go. I've been to Stonehenge. Oh my gosh. Thank you. So I've been there already. Okay. Look how beautiful that is. Egypt. I have a good friend. He wants me to go. A friend of mine has been to Cambodia. I've been to Australia. Yep, I saw the rock. A lot of these places I'll probably never go. I've been in Spain. I saw the Black Madonnas in Spain. It's not here, but I'm just showing you guys different sacred places. Now here, like I just said, in Ethiopia, they literally carved out of the dirt. And you don't have the time to go once a month to a place of worship or even answer my question. You deflect with what preachers have sex. I didn't ask you about no preacher. Okay. So yeah, Wyoming. I've seen the Devil's Tower. Okay. I've seen it. I forgot when I was traveling with somebody, I was like, yeah, I'll just say it. Okay, but anyway. Ooh, monasteries. I can be old nasty monk. I sure could. The Divine, right? In New York City, St. Patrick's Cathedral. I've been there. My mom's been there. So yeah. Obviously, I've been to the 16th Chapel, even though we went to St. Petersburg as well. Okay. And then that's it. That's it. So that's for you. And we used to get that magazine all the time when I was growing up, and my mom had like stacks and stacks of magazines. So I lived through magazines. Oh God, I gotta call somebody. I'm sorry. I got a busy life. Okay. What's next? And everything is down below in the description box. Okay, what's next? So yeah, I'm about to go to bed. I'm glad we did this. So now we're going to look at Bible.knowing and then Bible Hub. And then that's it. If you guys ever have questions, even if you see me in a live that has nothing to do with Word of Worship, you can still ask me. It's okay. I'm just making sure I got the right thing. Bible knowing. Yeah, that's it. Make sure. I got other things open. I'm doing good. I'm not opening up. Oh God. Stop sharing and let me refresh it. I'm not opening up as many things as I used to. I said, let me come down. The picture went away. Where's the picture? Okay, here we go. Good grief. All right. Because I'm always nervous as to what it's showing. Here we go. Okay. I know one day I'm going to slip up and show someone else. Okay. Bible.knowing. Having therefore, brethren, boldness to enter into the holiest by the blood of Jesus. And look at that moon. We had a beautiful blue moon in real time. And it was during my birthday. And I was just happy. That was a gift from planet Earth. But then that's another verse. So when you go to this place, 16 Bible verses about sacred places. It's not going to be Christianity because it was, especially if it's in the Torah in the first, you know, the Old Testament. In the New Testament, yeah. So be careful where you're going, what you're doing while you're there, what they're saying, and who they're saying it to. Okay. Because I'm not that I will challenge you. I'll just say I studied theology, so I will be forced to say, well, that's not the true meaning, or I'll ask you, do you understand what they were like? Now Peter was talking to a bunch of people who were being persecuted, and he died, sort of, kind of, for the same reasons that Christ died. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, be careful. So, here are different verses regarding sacred places and why they're sacred and what's there. So, if you're going to be in Indiana Jones and do your research and read about this stuff, well, you can get it from here. That's why I think the Bible is like, you can be an atheist and still read the Bible and get some information. Like this first one, for they also built for themselves high places, like that place in Turkey, and sacred pillars on high hills and beneath trees. I mean, it's just people doing their thing. Deuteronomy says, but you shall seek the Lord at the place where the Lord your God will choose from all of your tribes to establish his name, where there for his dwelling, and there you shall come. So they go somewhere. I'm sorry, you just can't. I'm gonna do it from my bed. No, that's not the same thing. There's no connection. That's just your dwelling. So read the rest, because then I'll get tied up into it. But this is for me too, you guys, because I come back here and I listen as well. So, or I go back and say, okay, I want to listen to that again, or I want to look that up again. So last but not least, 1 Peter. Okay, and these are the different types. Okay. All right. This is the NIV version right here in the front. And again, Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, he was the first pope, and he was persecuted and crucified by Nero, the ruler of Rome in Italy. Okay. And he was upside down on the cross because he said, I am not worthy to die the same way that Jesus Christ did, because he felt like a failure. Okay. And that is the mound where St. Peter is built on, and the Vatican is there, and it's the smallest country on planet Earth. Okay. So we all know what's going on over here in class culture. If I know, you're going to know. If you forget, this video is always going to be here for you to come back and listen to. So they tell you everything that you need to know here. Okay. So get in there and learn it. Just do it. Now, there's different versions, so all you got to do is hit it. Hit it. Hit it. If you don't believe me, just hit it. Just pick one over here. Boop. Hit it, and they'll tell you what it is. Good News Translation. This one. The English Revised Version. So how more accommodating? They've done enough. Good job. Now, this is the place that I'm going to visit again in Turkey. You will be there with me. It's just hard to say the words. It's Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe. There it is. Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. And that's where I want to go. That's the next, like, holy, sacred, human. I don't know if it's a UNESCO site. Now, see, now you're making me look stuff up again. UNESCO sites. I'll put that up there. It's really quite amazing. It really. I look at. I've been to a lot of them, and I don't know. I've always just. I'll put this down below. I guess it's just the benefit of having a mother that was a teacher. I don't know. It's not a big mystery to me. But here we can look it up, and I'll put it down below. Let me copy that now. So when I make this public, thank you very much, and welcome to Word of Worship. If this is your first one, okay. Yeah, UNESCO sites are amazing. I'm always on this website. I'm always watching like these shows that I bring up. I'm always researching when I'm writing and I need inspiration, or I'm describing a character and I'm trying to really delve into something, or if they're having a conversation and Rome comes up, they might be clever and they just might want to show off and they might want to say something regarding history. So I go and do my research so my character is believable. How about that? So this is UNESCO.org, and you can look at, I mean, as you can see, it's very active. It's a new article. It's like the newspaper. And there's always, look, they're always doing things. It's fascinating. Let's go over here. Now I'm being nosy. The Redwoods. That's San Francisco. That's, well, not in San Francisco. It's in Colorado. Somebody's talking about me in Colorado, but it's in California. So let's go in. Zoom to. There we go. Okay. We can go there all the time. I used to take my kids there all the time. Okay. And you can zoom in as much as that's as close as y'all gonna get. It's a satellite without it looking weird. Okay. But yeah, that's the redwoods. They're the tops of the trees. But then you can go to World Heritage Endangered. Like if you want to go see something before it's gone, you know, they give you all types of advice. Potential danger. Remember I said you don't want to go somewhere where there's a war. Don't do it. Don't do it. Whether you want to or not. What's another part of this I like to go to? There's a news. Okay, let's see. There's listed by country. Sorry, this is like the last thing. I'm not gonna. Oh, here it is. News and events. Oops. Darn it, Jim. Okay, go back. Take your time, because I wasn't going to do this, but it just popped out my head. So why not? You go straight to news. Okay. And here they're talking about the Great Barrier Reef, Australia. And then you can pick and choose what you want to talk about. Okay. It's very science related. And that's what I need as well. Now here they're talking about Ukraine. Okay. Yeah. They have two. Huh. Okay, let's go. Why not? It's a 2-minute read. Why not? Endangered heritage in Ukraine reinforces protective measures. Since the beginning of the crisis, has taken action to mandate particulars to protect the culture. I'm going for directly what they're protecting. Oh, okay, here we go. There's a cathedral. Okay. But it's a war. Who's to say that he don't care? That's sad. And there it is. That's the cathedral. I really don't think they're trying to bomb cathedrals. I really don't. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that one. And let me see. I'm just being nosy. Let's be nosy together. And every week or every month, I'm nosy. Okay. I just check in and I look at it just this fast. I just boop, boop, boop. And then as you can see, that's the end of it. And see, they're telling you 2 minutes, focus. And then they might ask you for some money. I'm just saying. But this is intriguing. Okay, let's look at this. Marine world. What? What are they talking about? Yeah, some of these are like, yeah. Or do they mean marine life? Yeah, they should change that because I'm like, marine world. What are you talking about? 17 marine world heritage sites evaluated. Okay, let's be nosy. Yeah, then it gets too scientific and less visual, which is okay. It's good to be smart. And they get really, as you can see, you guys, they get really, really specific. You have to have the patience and the focus and the purpose to find it. I live off of stuff like this, but sometimes the audiences, I don't want to see that. Panama, Solomon Islands, United States, the Everglades, they say are in trouble. The Galapagos Islands, barrier reefs. Now, this is more physical. This is less man-made. Okay. So please and thank you. Check that out. That's down below. So that's it. Okay. We talked about holy places, you go, and how Peter helped people who were being persecuted in the early days of Christianity prior to his death by writing letters. So now we have the advantage 2,100 years later to say, hey, I can just walk in any church, any temple, any tabernacle, any sanctum, any sacred place I choose, whether it's man-made or physical or historical, hopefully not war-torn, and find peace, feed your spirituality, find purpose, and also find, let's just say, I don't know, they call them congregations, but you don't have to make, people always have this need to make friends. Well, you don't have to always make friends. Just go there, be there, worship there, and then you can always go home. You don't have to bring people home. You don't have to make friends every time you go. You just don't. Nobody have time, especially during the pandemic. Use an excuse. If you say you don't like people that much, okay, you're not there for the people. You're there for yourself. You're there for yourself. And I had a talk with someone, a friend. She was like, I haven't been to church in 10 years. She says, and because we had a talk, I went and I don't even think about the other people there, y'all. I'm there, I'm polite, but I'm not there for them. I'm like, girl, you're not there for them. You're there for you. She was like, okay. And then she was like, I feel so bad. I'm like, number one, they're big, beautiful cathedrals and places of worship. Big, beautiful buildings, carvings, the hard wooden chairs, where I bring my cushion, architecture, places of historical heritage sites. That's number one. Number two, why not? We have to be amongst the citizens of the situation. That don't bother me. It just doesn't. I can be in a crowd of one or a crowd of 10,000. It doesn't matter to me. I'm there for me, not for them. And she felt better. I said, I told you. What? You know how people say, well, I don't go to church because my mom. I don't go to church because my sister. I don't go to church because my ex-husband. I'm like, are they going to be there? They're They're like, no. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? They got you. They got you so good. You haven't walked in a place of worship in 10 years. Girl, she was like, oh my God, I'm like, the devil got you. And they're like, woo, I feel better. I said, what do you think was going to happen? See, I can't be doing with some of y'all. Y'all in a turmoil 24/7. I cannot. I will not. My channel is not. Okay. And I've been rewarded. I've been blessed. My numbers speak for themselves because I did not focus just on one thing. I will not. Are you kidding me? My life is so full. I need sleep. And I force myself to sleep. I do. Or I take my little melanin, little tablet. Now I do my essential oils and my aromatherapies, but sometimes I said melanin, didn't I? Melatonin. Let me see which brand. I think I showed y'all. It's right here, right next to my bed. Nature's Bounty, melatonin. And I never used to be into that, but they work. I'm basically halfway done. What? Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the expiration date. That's pretty soon. But yeah, just go. Just go. And if you're met at the door and say, hey, I just need a place to sit quietly and worship. And I'm like, okay. I've just walked into church. They don't ask you no questions. They're just happy you're there. They probably want you to join the congregation. I'm just saying, but it feels right. It feels real. It feels good. It feels connected. It's sacred. And trust me, you need it. I have these people I see sometimes on these YouTube streets. I'm like, that. I can tell you ain't been to church, and like my friend. You don't have to join a choir. You don't have to give no money. You don't have to do nothing. Just go. And then you will be led where you want to go. I'm not into trying to make somebody else worship what I worship. Put it that way. I'm not into that. It's okay if someone asks me, I'll politely say what I need to say. But yeah, you don't need to do what I'm doing, and I don't need to do what you're doing. But hey, I've made it this far, and I'm calm, cool, and collected. And people are always asking me, why aren't you conflicted? I'm like, but why are you? Stop asking me. Ask yourself, why are you conflicted? Why haven't you been in a place of worship in 10 years? And when I got her to admit it, I'm like, girl, are they going to be there? She said, no. I'm like, well, huh? She said, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, don't be embarrassed. I'm like, well, what were you afraid of? I'm like, your mind, you got to get your mind together. You got to let go of the hurt and the harm and the fear. That's the devil, the demon, the negativity. Just to sit somewhere for an hour where you feel better? I don't think so. Thank you, HUGz, because I know I feel better. We talked about it today. We sure did. A word in any day. Any day. Just because I was having fun today, you didn't think I was going to click and make my video? Oh, no, ma'am. No, sir. A word of worship, holy places. You go. And start out with what Peter has said, because before he died, that's what he has said. Go, or his life would have been in vain. That's how I think. Thank y'all very much. Pick somewhere, put it on your bucket list, make it happen. I've been to a lot of places. I used to go to a lot of parks. I got bored with that. I used to go to a lot of war memorials. I got bored with that. I used to go to a lot of cemeteries where famous people were. I got bored with that. Now I'm getting into, I'll probably go to maybe 2 or 3 more places that have to do with this subject. Then I'll get bored with that. In a couple years, like when I retire, I'm just going to start just film, so I'm trying to get everything I can in ahead of time. When I met Polish Bob, he was well in his 60s when he made his first movie. So I'm trying to mimic that. Very successful at it. So I'll be fine. I'll be fine. People crack me up when they think I'm doing something that hasn't been done before. I don't get that part. Don't worry about it. Just sit back and watch. Go on and subscribe if you enjoyed the topic. Leave me a comment down below. If you so choose to, please join the membership. We are doing members only weekends. Thank you very much for allowing me to enjoy my birthday weekend. I might make a members only in real time in the morning, just because I'm going to get some sleep and then I'm just going to click live. I don't know. I just had this feeling that no, everybody's up late at night. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank y'all. Please and thank you. Hit all the reminder buttons on the upcoming shows, and I will see you soon. Okay. Bye.